Hello, church family. Obviously, we are in a time of transition. Now, times of transitions can be exciting as we see new possibilities and new things emerge, but times of transition can also be times of anxiety, where we feel anxious about not knowing what's ahead. Now, the good news is we serve a faithful God. God has been at work here at First Baptist Griffin and in this community for 179 years. That's a long time of faithfulness. So we now have the assurance that the same God that's been at work here will continue to be at work, that God is going before us and preparing the way for the future. So over the next few months, as we go through this time of transition, we want to give you regular updates to let you know what's going on in the process and how you can be involved. And so we're going to do this through a few ways. We'll do this in writing, we'll do this through videos like this, and we'll do this on Sunday mornings in person as we get a chance to share in our worship services where we are in the process and what God is doing. We always want to be as transparent as possible, and so we're always ready to answer questions. If you want to ask myself or Bonnie or any of our other leadership here at the church what's going on, we'll be happy to tell you and to keep you as informed as possible.
During this time of transition, we ask that you join us in a time of prayer and thanksgiving for our highly competent ministerial staff. They are prepared to not only continue our legacy of 179 years, but to lead us into the future that God has before us. Sunday morning services, there will be no change during the transition. We will have 3 services, and Steven will be preaching in chapel and in connection. The month of February, our beloved Brian McCartney will be in the celebration service, and in March, Reverend Clay Bowden. We are blessed to have these ministers to come as supply and to lead our church forward. Our other ministers will share the preaching responsibilities surrounding Easter. This will give us time to discern our needs and to put a plan in place to address those.
The second thing we wanted to talk to you about and to update you on is our Wednesday night activities. As we know, Bill has been leading our pastor's Bible study for the last few years. So during the time of transition, we are going to suspend both the pastor's Bible study and the Deeper Connection study. And then, starting in February, we're going to start a new group, a new study that I will lead on Wednesday nights in Morgan Hall entitled Rooted in Grace, a study in Ephesians. Now, the book of Ephesians is a great book for us to look at what it means to be a church and what it means to live as God's people, as a community of grace and a community of faith. And so we pray that it might be helpful for us as a church as we begin to discern the future that God has in store for us here at First Baptist. It will meet in Morgan Hall at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. Now, the third thing is people have some questions, I'm sure, about the day-to-day administration and pastoral care of the church. For the last couple of years, Bill has been preparing the staff for his retirement by handing over responsibilities throughout all of our different areas, particular areas of responsibility. So I have been and will continue to assume much of the day-to-day administration along with Leanne and all of our other support staff. The 5 ministers will share our pastoral care responsibilities. So if you have needs, continue to contact Lisa in the office and she will help us figure out who is on call on particular days and how we can help you meet the particular needs that you have. However, our hope is that you're really not going to see a great change in the day-to-day life of our church life here at First Baptist.
And the last item, the Pastor Search Committee. Again, we ask for you to be in prayer for our deacons and our deacon officers. The month of February, we will all be in a time of prayer to discern the Spirit's leadership in the steps ahead. We don't want to feel rushed, and we want to be thoughtful and prayerful during this time. The deacon officers will be meeting to select a chairperson for nomination as well as the committee members, and these names will be brought before the congregation for a vote. So during this time, we ask for prayer, for discernment, and to hear the Spirit's leadership.
So we will be coming to you periodically with updates to keep you as informed as possible about where we are in the process. If you have any questions or concerns at any point, don't hesitate to contact myself, to contact Bonnie, to contact any of the other ministers. We would be happy to answer questions in the best way that we possibly can. But thank you so much for your continued faithfulness to the ministries here at First Baptist. And we pray that even during this transition time, we will grow even more rooted in what it means to be a community of grace. Thanks.